Oh,
Right.
but we have these momentum building moments, and sometimes they're longer, sometimes they're shorter.
Right.
But when you start hitting that downswing, what do you do? What's going through your first of all, what's going through your mind? What is that mentality like, Negaoryx?
In terms of when you are on the downswing after having some momentum,
you've had this momentum building, and then you start.
Yeah, I mean, I have experienced this really uniquely in the past couple months with having the experience of going viral and having something overnight just kind of. One day I was streaming to 150 people, and the next day there were 1,500 people there. It was that dramatic, really. And I had the unfortunate timing. I'm sure you guys are familiar with the phrase, when it rains, it pours. And for me, when things went really well, streaming-wise, out of nowhere, I had one of my parents passed away at the same time.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So that was, to me, the ultimate example of you can't control timing. You can only do how much you can do. You can only give so much. And experiencing that kind of downswing of the perceived opportunity cost of not being live, but knowing that I needed to take some time to myself.
Yeah.
That was something that was really hard to kind of learn to let go and say, you can't capitalize on everything all the time, every minute of the day. You're a human being. You know, you can't pour from an empty cup, basically. So I recognized that even though the business side of my brain was like, stream every single day, be live 24/7.
Right.
If new people are constantly clicking on your channel, you want to be live when they're doing that, to say hi, to be there, to be live for them. And it was the biggest learning lesson in letting go and accepting that you can only give so much, and knowing that you can only commit yourself to so much, for me. And I feel like I've learned that in various ways over the year as well. Over the years, when I first started out, I was a full-time student and I was working freelance. I was commuting 3 to 5 hours a day to go to school because my school wasn't in LA.
Wow.
And I was, streaming on top of that and trying to get partnered. And I really learned, like, I can only give so much. Look at my schedule, where can I give it? And not beat yourself up on the downswing, I think, is the biggest lesson.
So I was going to ask you, like, if you had like a specific. I'm so sorry for your loss. That reconciling these things. Life happens regardless of your ambitions.
Yeah.
Right. Regardless of your drive. And we've seen stories of people going in all kinds of directions. Where you need to ignore it sometimes when the tragedy strikes so powerfully. You're like, I'm just gonna only work now. That is where I'm going to focus. And other people move away from it and push away the other obligations because they're like, I need to internalize, process, and just as extracted from all the other things I need to do. But it sounds like you did the best possible version of that from the outside. What it sounds like. Of balancing it together, of trying to process it and take an appropriate amount of time to live the life that you needed to live in that moment.
Yeah,
while not abandoning your stream.
Absolutely. And I think the thing that I tried to take away from it too was, let's say I was going live every day to capitalize on that. What kind of content would I be making? And would I be proud of, if this is somebody's first time clicking on my channel, the kind of creator I would be today, what I can bring personality-wise, energy-wise to the table? Is that what I want people seeing? And if my answer was no, I didn't stream that day. If my answer was yes, like if it was even a 51% yes, 49% no, I said, all right, I'm going to push through and I'm going to try my best. And a lot of the times, processing that kind of loss, a lot of the time I didn't feel as present and I didn't feel as engaged with it. Sure. But I still felt I could give enough that at the end of the day, I was like, yeah, if that was somebody's first time seeing my content, I think that represents me. But I do think that's the barometer that I use. And I used that pretty much from day one when I was balancing a school work streaming schedule, was if this is the only content that somebody's going to see from me, if they click on my channel for the first time, do I think that this is worth putting out there? And most of the time the answer was yes, but when it wasn't, it was like, I'm just not going to stream then. You know, I'm not going to beat myself up about it.
How that? I mean, right? Because I think all four of us can recognize that you get blinders on and you get into the mode of I just have to. You were just talking about the grind, right? That you just have to get. You have to be ever present, and we're not even ignoring the loss in quality. It's just not even present. Ignoring it implies that we can see it and it's right there, and we're like, no, I'm sure the stream will be great. We're not even thinking about it a lot of the times. It's just get in and do the thing.
Yeah, and I think you see this a lot with people that are balancing working with streaming, because a lot of the times you come home from work, you have like kids, or you're coming home from school, you have homework, you have other obligations, you're tired, you're at the end of your day. Now you have to go and put on a stream. And I see this a lot from streamers that have to balance this, where it's like, you know, I feel like I have to go live every day, and sometimes I'm just not feeling it. But if you're not streaming, you feel like you're failing. But, you know, something I always recommend is, you know, you can take a day not stream and work on things for the stream still, right? Like still be productive, even if you can't put on your best face. But your viewers can always tell when you're tired and you're out of it, you've had a bad day, and it's kind of just like weighing on you. People can see that very easily.